Okay friends, so I'm heading into Tokyo DisneySea today to go and see this guy, Sindbad's Storybook Voyage, the wonderful boat ride that's only in Tokyo DisneySea, is reopening today after 7 months of being closed. So I'm really excited to go and check it out. I'm very curious to see if anything has changed or if it's just, you know, looking fresh and better than ever. You know, sometimes in these cases, like, old effects will come back that we might have forgotten about or not have even known were there to begin with. So I'm really excited to see that. Another thing I'm curious about is that it's 8:52 now. The park opens at 9. As you can see, I'm walking. I decided not to take the monorail today. You can walk. It is a walk you can do. This is Xperi, the shopping area here. You can walk it and it's quite a pleasant little walk. I think if you're coming on holiday, I do suggest taking the monorail. But I'm walking, so I'm going to get to the gate around 9 o'clock, which is when the park opens. And anyone who knows anything about Fantasy Springs will know that that's pretty late. Like, it might sound silly, but getting to the park when it opens is actually kind of late here. A lot of people were there 3 hours ago waiting to make sure they can definitely get their passes to get into Fantasy Springs. So you'll be able to find out here with me whether or not you can just stroll up at 9 o'clock and still get into Fantasy Springs. Let's find out. Whilst, as I said, I would recommend taking... Oh, there it is. I would recommend taking the monorail. You do get some pretty cool views of Mount Prometheus coming at the park from this angle, which is always a nice way to get me excited about DisneySea. You know, if you take the monorail, you're going to see like Port Discovery and the back of Indiana Jones, back of Tower of Terror, which is also very, very cool. But yeah, there's something cool about just seeing Mount Prometheus, you know. Oh, I got a bit unlucky with the lines there. I ended up being in one that was like triple stacked up with people. Anyway, we're in. It's 9:43. Let's see what we can get. Oh, it's so terrible because everyone just stops as soon as they get in, because that's how the system works, right? So the area around the entrance is so crowded, especially because we've had a tiny bit of rain as well. So everyone wants to stay under the cover. Anyway, let's see what we can get. Okay, so we go standby pass. I'm not buying DPAs today. What's still there? Me. Oh, for goodness sake. This is tricky with one hand. Me. I'm gonna go Rapunzel. So everything's still there except Frozen. Frozen ran out around 9:30 today, which isn't too bad. You know, it means, I guess if people got here around 7:30, they might have got in today. It depends on the day, so don't take that as gospel, but okay, I got Rapunzel. I've never actually done the normal queue for Rapunzel. I've always skipped it, so not that the queue is anything nice. I've seen all of it, you know, it's not a particularly nice queue, but it'll be fun to tick it off. And anyway, we're getting into Fantasy Springs today, which is cool. The main thing, let's go and see Sindbad. Let's see if anything's changed, what they've done with him. Oh, I should grab a 40th anniversary pass as well, shouldn't I? Of course it's going to be Indiana Jones. Yep, 6 o'clock, okay. It's around the same time as Rapunzel, that's fine, they're pretty close to each other. There we go, and then the other thing you want to do when you come in is get your entry requests. These are to get you into the shows. You can wait for the first show, I think. I've never ever done it, so I don't know, but you can wait for the first show, but this is like a lottery system where you choose a time and you'll see a show at that time, if you're lucky. I always say it's best to assume that you're not gonna get these, just because it's so rare, and then if you do get it, it's like a bonus, you know? Let's see, no, Big Band B. I'm not even gonna bother with Jamboree Mickey, I don't care. We're at DisneySea! Ah, there we go. That entranceway was a bit stressful. It's just annoying, you know, when you know that like people are coming after you and they're getting past you because your line is the one that's kind of clogged up, but whatever, we're in here. Let's go see Sindbad! 7 months! Let's go see my boy Chandu! The trouble with going to Sindbad first is that it's right at the back of the park. Or I guess what used to be the back of the park, now the back of the park is Fantasy Springs. Well, this park is just huge now, it's so big to get around. But yeah, I always feel kind of guilty when I'm like walking through DisneySea with a mission, because the place is so gorgeous and I'm just like, No, I'm not gonna look at any of this stunning detail in the most beautiful theme park in the world. I'm just gonna go straight over to my ride. But it's been 7 months, I need to go and see Chandu. So it's gonna be interesting. You might be thinking like 7 months, they must have changed something, right? But they closed Pirates of the Caribbean, which is obviously a similar ride, it's another big boat ride. They closed that for almost exactly the same amount of time, around 7 months, a few years ago, and then it reopened and they didn't change a thing. They didn't even change like the auction scene, which has been changed in every other Disney park. We were expecting them to change something, right? It's a long time. They changed nothing. I think the roof was getting moldy or something, so they had to replace the roof. Something like that. So yeah, it's not a given that it being closed for 7 months definitely means there's anything new. But on the flip side, well, not the flip side exactly, but Pooh's Honey Hunt just closed for 4 months. And when that reopened, there's nothing new per se, but they like replaced the projectors, they redid a lot of like the painting, and the whole thing looks brand new in ways that like I didn't realize it didn't look brand new before. I thought it looked fine before, but then seeing it redone, it looks fantastic. So it could be a case of that. Hopefully there are things, you know, in Sindbad that I didn't realize were kind of aged, and now they're gonna look super fresh. We'll see. Oh, Mysterious Island, come on. Come on. We're in Mysterious Island. Doesn't get any better than this. You have to just touch touch the wonderful Mysterious Island, we love it. I just saw some other people decked out in Chandu merch with like the Chandu shoulder plush and everything. I was wondering if I'd see like a lot of those people today, but I guess it's like not a huge thing, right? Like people will just wait to do it when they can do it. But I'm rocking the pouch, and also, how do we do this? I've got my lovely Chandu t-shirt, which you can find in the description. You'll be able to find those. A huge thank you to everyone who buys those. They help to support the channel, and they just rock. It's even got a tail on the back, which I can't show you right now because I've got my backpack on, but it's cute, just trust me. Go and check the store out, you'll see what I mean. Oh, and I just realized something. This is actually the first day that DisneySea has had this many rides, ever. Because when Fantasy Springs opened, Sindbad was closed for this refurb. So this is the first day. I don't think anything else is closed today. Maybe it is, I'm not sure, I'd have to check. But if not, this is the first day that DisneySea has had this many rides available, which is kind of a cool thing. That's what I found so crazy with them closing it when Fantasy Springs opened, because it's a big high-capacity family ride that's right next to Fantasy Springs. It's the perfect thing to like, so many people loiter around the entrance of Fantasy Springs waiting for their entry time to come up. And if Sindbad's a 5-minute wait, it's the perfect thing to just sit on and ride around there instead of standing and clogging up the entranceway. Arabian Coast, we're almost there. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit scared that they've like changed it back to the old version and got rid of Chandu and got rid of Compass of Your Heart. Can you imagine? Just don't say anything and they change it loads. Nah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very similar, but I mean basically the same. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be basically exactly the same. But who knows? Let's see. I'm gonna see Chandu again. It's been 7 months, you guys. You're probably watching this thinking like, just 7 months? Like, you do kind of take it for granted living here sometimes, you know? You can just come anytime you want. 7 months starts to feel like a really long time to not do one of your favorite rides. Now, I've been very public with how I do not think Fantasy Springs Hotel is that pretty, but this is an interesting little thing. You can see how they did try to get it to fit in with Arabian Coast, this area here, with the color scheme. Check this out. So you can see all the colors here, right? Kind of light beiges and oranges with tints of green. Fantasy Springs Hotel kind of matches that. I guess my argument would be they should have got it to match the land it was actually in, rather than the land that you can see a bit of it from. But whatever. We're gonna go on Sindbad. Oh, hey, Genie. Genie's rocking out. We're gonna go on Sindbad. I wonder how long the line is. I haven't checked. Is it gonna be like, do people care? It's always curious in these kinds of times, you know, like do people actually care or not? Let's see, I'm gonna ride it. It's 20 minutes, which might seem like nothing, but that's pretty long for Sindbad. I think people definitely do care. There's a bunch of cast members with Chandu plushies waving to everyone. I love the small things they do like that, you know, just to make these tiny things that fans care about feel a little bit more special. They love the t-shirt as well, so hey, I mean, if you buy the t-shirt, the cast members will notice you. They notice you anyway, they're the best.
チャンドゥ見てごらん、勇敢な船乗りたちが集まってくれたぞ。さあみんな、水平線を目指して冒険に出かけよう。
シンドバッド、魔法の楽器で乱暴者の猿たちをなだめるのじゃ。
チャンドゥ、クジラが町まで連れて行ってくれるぞ。ついに見つけたよ、宝物、宝石や黄金じゃなく、
Ah, that was so good. I feel like a piece of me has been missing for so long and I just got it back. Or maybe more accurately, a piece of DisneySea has been missing, because it really, really has. It's been kind of surreal, you know, having Fantasy Springs and then going from Fantasy Springs into DisneySea and the park not quite feeling right. Like, the first thing you'd see is scaffolding over Sindbad. I feel like the park is complete again. Maybe more complete than it's ever been, you know, now with everything. Okay, but the question was, Jordan, has anything changed? Yes and no. So, kind of what I expected, to be honest. The first thing I noticed as soon as we got into the first scene was, wow, those lanterns are bright. There are all of these kind of lanterns and torches and things dotted around the scene, and they just like, bing, they're like really, really bright, kind of almost distractingly. I don't know if it's just, maybe it's just me, because you know what it's like when you do something again and again and again, and then something changes, you really notice it, right? So maybe it's not as big of a thing as I felt like it was, but it was a little bit, it felt a little bit distracting, it felt a bit too bright. So I was like, oh no, I hope they haven't made it worse. But you know, tiny things. And then I kind of noticed all around the scene, it wasn't just those lights, the colored lighting as well was a lot brighter. And the interesting thing with that is that if the lighting is brighter, you can kind of notice some things more. There wasn't like huge things that I noticed. The most considerable thing was that I saw that in the shipwreck scene, towards the back, like behind Sindbad and Chandu, there's like this shipwreck and there's some kind of gnarly rocks, and I haven't noticed them before. And I'm someone who's made a video breaking down every little detail of this ride. I think I would have noticed that. I mean, it's been 7 months, maybe I've just forgotten, but what I think happened is, I think with the old version, for those who don't know, this used to be like a bit more dark and a bit more scary, and then they lightened it up and added Chandu and changed the music and all this stuff. I think they intentionally turned the lights down on there so it didn't look so scary and so imposing. And I think what's happened is with these new LED lights, they've kind of lit it up more. So I was like, wow, there's loads of rock work back there. So that was pretty cool. I liked being able to see that. And then there were just two other things which I'm not so sure about. One was the smells, and it's so hard to know with smells. Like, I got into the scene with the big bird and the eggs, and I was like, oh, it kind of smells like bananas in here. Why does it smell like bananas? This area never had a smell before, so I thought maybe they've like updated some smells or added some smells, so I thought the banana scene is gonna have a really strong smell now then, isn't it? I got to the banana scene and couldn't smell anything. So I don't know, maybe someone behind me was eating a banana on the boat or something. I'm not so confident about that one. The other one I'm not so confident about is there's like a guy who's like hoisting a sail in the last scene, and I'm sure he was there before. I even think it was probably moving before, but I think what it is I think again the lighting, he's lit up more and you just kind of notice it more. So I was like, was that there before? I mean, he was definitely there before. The boat was definitely there before. I wondered if the effect wasn't working so well before, like maybe it didn't move as much. It seemed to be moving a lot. Anyway, the main thing is, the ride is just as good as it's always been, and I'm so happy that it's back. It's wonderful to see Sindbad and Chandu again. Okay, so I just got off it for the second time, and there was a couple of other things I noticed. One was something I noticed the first time, but just forgot to talk about, which is, like I said, they've changed the lighting from the old style into these LEDs, and I think there was like a shimmering light on the gold in the treasure cave scene, and now it's a little bit obnoxious. It's like a rave. It's like strobe lights in there. So that's a bit weird. The other one is quite a big deal actually, and I might be wrong on this. I'll go back and check, and if I'm wrong, there'll be text at the bottom of the screen right now saying Jordan is wrong. But the whale's mouth was opening and closing as it moved up and down. And I don't think it did that before. I might be wrong, but I swear the whole thing just moved up and down. I don't remember a mouth opening and closing, so that would be a big win if that's a new thing. But yeah, anyway, I'm just so happy to have my Sindbad back. It's so nice. That time was a little strange as well though. I've never heard the announcement before to say that the ride's broken down. They played the announcement to say it had broken down, and it didn't break down. It was totally fine, nothing happened. So that was a bit strange. I mean, I guess it was kind of nice to hear that, because I've never heard that announcement before, but yeah. Anyway, I should probably go and do some other things. Indiana Jones is just over here. Indiana Jones and Raging Spirits are the only rides at the whole of Tokyo Disney that have single rider lines, which is a shame. I mean, it's a shame that no other rides do, but it's nice that those do, I suppose. I mean, Indiana Jones is a big one, right? That's a really good one, so I think I'll rush around on those. Indiana Jones is a banger. It's always good to get on that. And yeah, well worth keeping in mind the single rider queue. The normal queue was an hour and a half. Got straight on with single rider. So it's definitely worth doing for that, and Raging Spirits again, sadly. They're the only two that have it. I'm now getting a bit peckish, and to be honest, the weather's really not great today. I came today planning to shoot lots of B-roll, and the sky is grey, and it's rainy. So yeah, I'm not thrilled about that. But that's fine. Maybe I can find some nice indoor spots to film and, you know, just enjoy my day here. So yeah, I think I'll finish up the vlog there. The question has been answered. Has anything changed in Sindbad? Yes, some small things have changed and it looks fantastic and I'm so happy to see it open. And then the other question we had at the start was, of course, can you turn up at 9 o'clock and still get into Fantasy Springs? The answer to that is also yes. Again, I don't want to promise anything because if you come on an extremely busy day, that might not be the case. But today was a pretty good sample because it's not empty and it's not super busy. Today is a very average day. So I think it was quite a good sort of touching point for that kind of thing. And a huge thank you for watching. You could have watched anything on YouTube right now and you're watching me. I hugely appreciate it. If you want to help me out even more, you could like and comment and subscribe and do all that good stuff. And you could even check out my Patreon where you can support the channel. Those people actually let me come here because we don't have annual passes at Tokyo Disney, so I have to pay full price every time I want to come. A huge thank you to all of you. I love you all so much. And yeah, check this video out next. Why not, you know?